Hey, howdy, hey. Welcome, everyone, to another Creatures and Corridors live stream. We are back and doing something a little different again this week. Last week was we just had three players. Now we're going to see how the other half lives. Um, as some of you may know who keep up with us, Anthony and Connor's characters were both captured 2 sessions ago. And so tonight we are going to see what happened to them while the others were recovering from that encounter. So, just a quick reminder before we get going tonight. Make sure you give us a follow here on Twitch. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Tell your friends. It's a good time here. We have fun. Come hang out with us. There's always some good memes in the chat. Anyways, without further ado, we're going to get into tonight's session. So let's get after it. When last we left our heroes, Fulgor and Dozak were on their way to meet with Akoma at his tea shop when they were attacked by two powerful Force users and a Mandalorian. As they fought for their lives, more joined the fray on both sides. In the end, our heroes were defeated, but inexplicably, the Dark Force users captured Dozak and Fulgor instead of ending their journey prematurely. What sinister purpose do these villains have in store for our heroes? How will they survive this ordeal? And how long do they have before their allies can mount a rescue? Find out tonight on Star Wars 5e, a new campaign. Yeah, let's get the music going here. Okay, so there you are on the roof, defeated and in binders. And you see Caro and Glavis driving off in your speeder, Fulgor, as the Sith start to kind of gather you all together into one area, and shortly, within a minute or two, a speeder arrives, and it lands nearby, and they instruct you into the back of the speeder. It's like a armored transport.
I'll look at Dozak and be like, well, ladies first. With my binders, like, pointing for him to go in.
Ever the lighthearted one.
So standing next to the back of the transport, the cyborg Sith, the one who had like the vocoder, or not vocoder, but he had like a respirator over his face, and he had some very like visible cybernetic enhancements. Whenever you get close, he uh, pulls out this like gas mask looking thing, and he says, "Breathe into this." And he hands it to, or he puts it like in front of you, Dozag. You just have to like lean forward and breathe into it.
Okay.
So you take a big huff, and it smells and tastes awful. It is like brimstone. Like you just put your face in a volcano. It's and just all your like you can feel all the nerves in your face begin to kind of tingle and twitch. And then he shoves you into the back of the speeder, um, and gestures to Fulgor to do the same.
I cast breath control on myself, and then I do it. I don't know if it's trying to do any poison or anything, but,
Mm-hmm.
like, just in case. Like, it's kind of weird he wants us to just... Just being cautious. I'll keep an eye on Dozak and try to mimic any symptoms he has.
Smart man.
So he sees you trying to cast a spell, and as you're um like focusing on casting it, he like hits. He smacks you with the non laser side of his lightsaber and says, "I catch you casting something again, and you're dead meat."
Relax, I was just trying to heal myself. I'm still pretty wounded from your friend earlier.
You'll survive. Now breathe into this.
So does that mean he, like, prevented me from casting the spell?
Yes.
Okay. I'll still breathe it in, I guess.
Same thing. It's awful. It is not a pleasant experience whatsoever. And whenever he throws you into the back of the speeder, both of you can feel your consciousness begin to slip away from you, and very soon after, you are completely unconscious. Real quick, something I forgot to mention up top that I was gonna say. Typically we keep things kind of PG-13 around here. Tonight might be a little more intense. I just want to give everyone a warning for watching, like trigger warning or whatever. There might be um, some pretty intense stuff tonight. Just we're not going to get too graphic or anything, but just throwing it out there. Be prepared. It might get a little intense. So if that's not your thing, I completely understand if you don't want to watch it. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay. You two don't have a choice though. So
Yeah.
you're coming with me. All right.
You are not thinking about what the Sith people did to you while you were unconscious.
So, and Anthony, you can just leave it on the roleplay screen for now, but I am going to shift things on Roll20. You're going to find yourselves all the way on the far right side of this map.
Okay.
Okay. So when you begin to come to, you find yourself in this dingy cell, definitely some kind of prison cell. There's blood stains on the floor, and everything just kind of has this dark and dank, oppressive atmosphere to it. You're not sure exactly where you are, but it is not a place you ever wanted to find yourself. Um, as you begin to kind of awaken again, you both of you feel this extreme soreness coming from your left, like kind of shoulder area, around like not quite on the top of the shoulder, but kind of like more like the top of your chest, bottom of your shoulder. Your hands are still bound by binders, and everything but your clothes are gone.
Do I feel my lightsaber in my clothes? Cause like I had it, stored in the sleeve.
You were
It
using.
wasn't in like a hidden pocket, but it has like the hidden property.
Let me go ahead and make that roll for your hidden pocket.
Okay. Yeah, I did have my credits and my bow to Lotus in my hidden pocket.
What was the DC? 15?
Yeah. But it is investigation to find.
Right.
Hopefully these guys aren't that intelligent.
Your lightsaber is gone, but your credits and your lotus petal do appear to still be where you left them.
Huzzah!
As you guys kind of awaken, you also see the Force user guy. I don't know if you guys ever got his name or not, but you
We
see
never
him.
did.
Okay. You see him slumped against the wall also on the other side of the prison cell.
That's the one that Vrain shot and I healed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, whatever they want with us, they clearly don't want us dead.
Do you
But it does seem like they want us pretty close.
do you feel that pain in your shoulder/chest too?
You
And
too?
I'm like, rubbing. Think they might have like chipped us or something.
Probably. Probably a locator or some kind of tracker.
When you go to touch your shoulder, Fulgor, you feel something uh, on top of your skin.
And I probably won't be able to see it looking down, but I'll move my clothes out of the way so Dozak can look at it, can see it.
So when you move your robes, Dozak, you see he's got this. It looks like a medical like port, for like one of those like when they have to give like frequent injections to somebody, they put that little port
Those
thing
like
on them.
semi permanent IV things that are like right there,
Yes.
and they just like. Okay.
So they're trying to keep us injected with something. Could I try to make a medicine check to know, or is that not something without being able to actually like take it out and?
Oh, you could look at. Dozak's.
Yeah,
Try to like.
let me look at
It,
Dozak.
it seems like you have the same thing.
Move
Yeah,
your
I'll
tunic
do
on
the
me,
same.
Lord.
I'll like scooch the robe over and.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll medicine check.
Can I cast guidance on myself before doing so?
Yes.
I'll post it. And then medicine.
Oof.
You're still kind of groggy from the effects of the poison, or from the whatever that shit was that you breathed in, wearing off. So it's your head just is like feels like it's in a vice. It's just kind of swimming right now, but um, you can tell it's like you can tell basically that, like what Connor was saying, it's something for like regular injections of some sort, but you're not sure to what end.
Do we feel like
Whatever it is.
exhausted from it, or just exhausted from from the heavy battle we were just in?
Yeah, just the regular exhaustion from the battle. Not, I haven't gained any exhaustion levels
Okay.
yet, but um, yeah, you definitely did not. Actually, you did technically get a short rest. So if either of you want to throw hit die or have any short rest features, we will go ahead and count that as a short rest.
That would be lovely.
Absolutely.
I can throw a
Considering
hit die or
Bozak's at
two.
1 HP.
I'll roll 2 hit dice.
Yeah, I probably will roll two as well. Wow.
Oof. Oof.
No, I'll roll one more. Oh my god.
I'll roll one more as well.
I guess we're going. Dude! Okay, I'm getting him out of
There
the
we
way.
go.
I'm getting him
Okay.
out of the way now. That's what matters, right?
15,
I'm just gonna use all
16,
5 of my
17,
hit dice.
18.
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
18
Yep.
for me. Ugh.
Better to get him out of the way now.
And then I will use my arcane recovery to get
Yep.
some force points back. I'm gonna double check, and I think it's.
Did you add your HP, Dozak? It still says you're at 1.
No, yeah, I still haven't added it quite yet. I'm debating. I might just have to roll the last 2 of mine as well, because I just have no health. So
You may want to roll it.
yeah,
Probably a good
let's just go ahead and do it. Okay, so 12, 27, 32
Your con for each
total.
die.
Okay, that'll put me at 33. I'll take that.
Is it half level rounded up or rounded down? It's not saying where it's rounded. It's half
For
getting my force points back. It says half your concert level plus wisdom or charisma.
I think it's usually rounded down.
Okay.
No. It would have to be rounded up, because if you're level 1, then you would get at least 1.
Yeah,
So
Oh
it's
yeah, because
rounded.
they want a minimum.
Mine specifies rounded up, your choice. So it's probably the same for you
So
as
it'd
well.
be 3 plus
No,
4,
yeah.
so I get 7 points back.
Yeah, it would have to be rounded up.
4, 5, 6, 7. I'm almost back to full force points right now. How's this dude looking? Is he awake?
He does not appear to be conscious. He is slumped against the wall, just. You're not even sure if he's
okay.
alive, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check on him. Check for a pulse and then make sure he's not like severely wounded. If he is,
Yeah.
I'll try to heal him. I mean, I can see his HP bar, of course, but
So I'm gonna spend an action to manifest this ideal. And since we got a short rest, so I'm gonna get 6 force points back.
So you scooch over next to him, and you do just kind of some basic checking to see if he's breathing, checking for a pulse. He does appear to be breathing and has a pulse.
does he also have the thing on his chest?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, I guess now I'll try to wake him up.
So you kind of jostle him a little bit, and he groans. What? Where are we? What is? What? Who are? Oh, it's you bastards.
That's the thanks
He
I get
looks-
for healing your leg yesterday?
He looks between Dozak and Fulgur, and he's like, everything was fine until you showed up.
That's usually how it goes.
We had a Coma's tea shop. Things were peaceful. We're finally making some headway in our training. Now look at us.
Well, can't cry over spilt milk, right?
What's milk? I'm just kidding.
You mean there's no milk in this future?
Yeah, blue milk. He's like, we're gonna do a lot more than cry. I don't know what these sickos want with us, but it's not looking good for any of us.
Well, whatever it is, it can't be too pleasant. I've also checked you, but you seem to have one of these things, and I'll move my tunic aside to show him.
He looks at it and he's just like, we're basically already dead, so I guess we'll just make the most of it here. Maybe we can take a few of them with us. What do you say? One last hurrah?
Well, I don't know about you, but they've taken my lightsaber.
Taking
He,
mine
like-
as well.
He, in his binders, he kind of shifts around. He's just like, oh yeah, that's right. Well, good thing we can all use the Force, right?
What's the Force?
Oh no! He's like, we're doomed.
Sorry, Boldgrave's not here. I had to say it.
Yeah. And he's just like,
Something tells me that whoever has us here is a lot stronger than us. We might be our best bet to just lay low for a minute if we have that luxury.
I mean, we don't even know what they want right now. They could just be trying a scare tactic.
Exactly. I say patience.
patience, huh? Well, that's probably what Akoma would say if he was here. Speaking of which, have you guys seen him?
Last I saw, he got thrown into a water tower.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was trying to rescue him and get out of Dodge, but well, you saw how that went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've also seen a coma. Something tells me that getting thrown into a water tower, it might not be the top of his list of things he's had to do that he didn't like, but it's probably near the top. He's probably all right.
I guess we'll find out soon enough. So
We'll know.
he kind of slips
wait.
back against the wall, and he's just like, so how long do you think before they come to get us?
I'm not even sure how long we've been asleep. I don't have my data pad.
I don't know how long. I can tell you when they're getting close, but that's about it.
And Dozak, just as you say that, you sense footsteps coming around this corner.
We have company.
So two acolytes in the just like the same garb that you saw them on the rooftop. You see a couple of these trainee force users come around the corner.
Ah, I see the fodder has shown up.
And one of them steps forward towards the gate and says, "Silence, maggot! The leader wishes to see you." And
So he
he's
coming
gonna
here,
open.
we going there, like.
He opens the gate. I can't actually change it on the map, but he opens the cell and says, "Follow me, and anything funny, and I'll cut your hands off."
Nope, I
I'll
can't
take point.
exactly do
This is my
anything
mistake.
anyway.
And this guy is coming too. Okay, real quick, just give y'all some visuals here. See what I see. So as you guys round the corner, whatever this place is it's very dingy. The walls, the floors and walls seem to be made of like metal and concrete. It's definitely most likely still on the wheel somewhere. It seems unlikely that they were able to travel far.
Off world.
Yeah. And as you round the corner, you see the hallway lined with these little shitty sleeping bags on the floor, and more of these uh, acolytes, kind of just chilling, just kind of hanging out there.
You guys
And
actually
these,
sleep like this?
bitch, you live like this. And they just look at you, and kind of some of them kind of sneer, and they'll like spit at your feet as you walk past.
Oh no.
All this pain and suffering, it must be to stay closer to the dark side.
But you get to the end of the hallway, and there is a set of doors, and when they open it, there seems to be a spiral staircase leading downwards. And so now we're going to go down the staircase. Just going to pick everyone up real quick. So you head down the staircase and then to get another hallway. Again, very similar to the last one. Dozak, actually, both of you, go ahead and make a perception check. So, Fulgor, when you step into this hallway, you hear the faint sound of what sounds like running water and dripping like drops of water. And Dozak, you also hear the water, but below where you are, below this chamber,
Mm-hmm.
you can feel another room, and you hear the faintest sound of pain screaming. There's something happening below you that is not pleasant.
Torture
Very,
chambers.
it's very
Figures.
faint.
It's the sex dungeon, right?
No, unfortunately, I think this is just a regular dungeon.
The regular kind.
It's not as fun.
And,
Sorry to disappoint you.
And you'll see as you move around, you will see these. There's a series of doors. So there's in this hallway there is 4 doors, 2 on the north wall, 2 on the south, and we're gonna continue onto the next floor. So they lead you straight across to this other double doors on the opposite end here, and when you get through those doors, there is a spiral staircase. This time leading down again.
Okay.
The last one was down too. Sorry.
All I see is black, but I see our names and health
Hang on.
bars.
Hang on. I'm
Okay.
just preparing here. Okay. And when they lead you into this chamber, inside the room is lined with more of these acolytes. They seem to be kind of in a meditative pose. Um, not like sitting on the ground, but just like kind of like standing there with their heads bowed and their hands in front of them. And on the far end, you see what looks like a kind of makeshift throne, and atop it is this elderly looking man with his eyes are the pupils are this putrid yellow, and where his white should be is pure black. And he's just kind of this wrinkly old man, a little bit of tufts of white hair for a beard, and he's dressed in all black. He's got a hood pulled up over his head, so it's kind of throwing shadows over his face. And to his right, or to your left, his right, you see another man dressed in crimson. With a, you can see he clearly has a big lightsaber handle on his belt, and he's pretty foreboding looking, very muscular and tall. He's definitely on the taller side, like 6'3", 6'4", and his face is he's just an ugly lump of a man, just head shaved bald, and face just kind of in a tough looking grimace. And so they walk into this room, and they kind of shove you forward a little bit, and you hear the old man speak, and he goes, "Well, if it isn't a couple of flies flown into my web. Tell me, what are your names, little flies?"
My name is Fulgor.
I am Dozak.
The third guy with you says, "I am known as Umber." And he says, well, the newest recruits to my burgeoning empire. Welcome. I hope you enjoy your new accommodations. Was everything to your liking?
I can't say I've had many experiences in these kinds of conditions, but I suppose it could have been worse. I could be dead.
Umber is like, "What the hell did you do to us, you sicko? What is this crap that you put in my shoulder?" And one of the acolytes like steps forward and bitch slaps him across the face. "Do not speak to the master that way." And he says, "Oh my, this one's still full of vigor. Don't worry, we'll break you soon enough. Don't you worry." "What have I done, you ask? Well, just a little insurance policy in case you try to get a bright idea and escape. Inside your veins flows a poison, one of which I have the antidote for. So long as you continue to take that antidote, no harm will befall you. Stop taking that antidote, and well, things won't end pleasantly for you."
And if we just yank this thing out?
"I don't think you would enjoy that much either. But if you wish to choose your own death, who am I to stand in your way?"
Is it set to explode or something?
"Oh my, no, merely a convenience. A simpler way to administer your antidote."
So it provides the poison and the antidote.
No, the poison has binded to your cells already. It is part of you, just like you will soon be part of us. And Umber Umber is like, "Listen, I don't know what you think we are, but we're Jedi, okay? We're not gonna work for some Sith bastard like you. This isn't our style, as I'm sure you well know. tell us what happened to our friend. Where's Akoma?
The Jedi abandoned us long ago, Umber. You surely should have realized that by now. All we have is ourselves.
If you've lost the spark of hope, then you're already one of them. And the elder, he's like, "Oh, your friend, he is receiving the same treatment you have, but he is proven to be a bit more difficult. His biology is not quite what we're used to, so it's taking a bit more time, but he will join you soon enough."
I have a question, just because I'm curious. So all their
Yeah, what's up?
tokens, like the fodder, they all look human, because obviously you just, reuse the same token. But are they also different races, or are they actually all human?
Primarily human, though there are a few, like Togruta, Twi'lek, humanoid-esque, kind of some of the more common races. But no, there's a smatter. I'd say it's about 50% human, 50% a smattering of
Other
other
mixed races? Okay.
Gotcha.
Lots of humans.
Yeah.
So indulge me, Master. Surely you kept us alive for some reason. Otherwise, your men would have left us on the rooftop, left in pieces. What do you have planned for us?
Oh my, yes, I've got big plans indeed. Big plans. You will serve me as my newest apprentices. One of my top men tells me that you confronted him seeking my guidance in the ways of the Force, that you wish to learn from me about the dark side.
Is it not the duty of a student to find suitable teachers?
Oh my, yes, yes, and a suitable teacher you have found, the best there is in the galaxy. There is no one stronger than I. I can assure you of that. But
Then
the question is not if I am a worthy master, but if you are a worthy student. I had my top generals test you by confronting you in that rooftop, or that alleyway and rooftop. And you put up somewhat of a fight, but you had help from a Mandalorian, as did we. But this is not this is not a true test of your mettle.
I mean, you also had more numbers than we did. I just, scratched my nose.
You had fancy tricks, technology of the material world. That is not our way. He motions to this big guy over here, and he tosses Dozak. He tosses both of your lightsabers at your foot. He tosses Fulgor's lightsaber at his foot, and Umber's lightsaber at his foot. The elder he clicks a button, and your binders release, all three of you.
I rub my wrist, that feels better, and then I'll force pull my lightsaber to my hand.
right now they are both still. Mine are both still on the floor because I can use my Force Blade Bond to just whoop, pop them both to my hand without even using an action. So I'm waiting to pounce.
Okay.
I'm a little skeptical right now.
I also want to inspect my saber, make sure they didn't tinker with it.
Sure. Go for it. An investigation check.
Well, I guess I don't have my artificer's tools on me, actually. They took everything. Yeah, I'll just, what'd you say, investigation?
Mm-hmm.
16.
You, funnily enough, you don't spend a lot of time with this thing in your hand. So when you look it over, you're like, was that always there? Like,
Yep, that's a lightsaber.
Right.
But as far as you can tell, it looks fine. It doesn't look like they've done anything noticeably to fuck with it.
I'm like, I had a force focus to go with this. If you're wanting me to do
And
a job, I can do it much better with it.
and he from like beneath his robes he pulls out your lantern, and he was just like, a most curious artifact. I was most intrigued by this. This is not something that most force users take into their possession. Tell me, what possessed you to construct this?
Uh, well, it brings me closer to the force. That allows me to be stronger when I use the force itself.
And do you not channel the force through your lightsaber?
I usually just use the lightsaber to defensively. That
He
focus
leans,
is what I use for my destructive capabilities.
he leans back in his chair and he's just like, most intriguing, Fulgor. Most intriguing. Now then, on to your trial. Before I am to instruct you, I must make sure that you are worthy of my tutelage.
Uh, Real quick, was he giving me the force focus back along
No.
with his okay.
Um, so when he says that, this guy steps forward, and two of these guys are going to step up. And he was just like, he says, defeat my champion, and you will gain the right to learn the ways of the Force from me. Roll initiative.
Very well.
Nice.
Token.
Let me just look at the force
Oof.
focus real quick because I won't have that stuff.
That's really low for me.
So I lose +1 attack and +1 save DC. Okay. You'll have to roll for Umber, Russell.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find. I'm trying to find the fucking acolytes. Hmm. I swear I made stats for them. Where have they gone? Oh, there it is. Dark Novice. Okay. And champion. Come on, Umber. You only rolled a 9.
I mean, I only rolled a 10. That's really low for me. Usually my initiative rolls are pretty high.
Okay. Looks like Fulgor. Looks like you're going first.
My dex is only a +2. If they have higher than that, they technically go first.
They also have a +2, but they're minions, so you're gonna.
They're gonna let me go first. All right, cool.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20. What up, boys? Casting specialist and our favorite force lightning.
Lightning bolt.
Let me double check casting specialist and make sure that's not only one person gets the disadvantage.
Okay.
Or you can force one creature to have disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume you'd probably want the guy in the middle to.
Yes. I was just double checking again, because, like, you know, the healing one allows you to use half your modifier, or, proficiency or whatever for that many dice. But yeah, middle guy will have disadvantage.
And what's your save?
Without my focus, it is 16.
Wow. They all failed.
Oof.
Go ahead and roll damage.
5,
8 dice 6.
6, 7, 8. Wow, 3 ones, really?
Oof.
Yikes!
5 ones.
Yikes!
5 ones and 2 maxes, so only a 27 damage. That's kind of
Can
low,
you,
but
can you see his health bar?
oh, that did like half damage, like half of his health bar.
So yeah, I as soon as he was like, begin, I immediately just ran over and just channeled lightning between my 2 hands and then just thrust it forward. Russell, you're muted.
I did it again. Oh man, you missed me say Chidori.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you leap into action and you just, I mean, like Kamehameha these guys with lightning, and both of the novices go down just from that lightning alone, and the guy in the middle recoils in pain, and you can tell it really did a number on him, and he just barely hangs on to half of his life. So the novices are dead. So now it'll be the warrior's turn.
He's like, oh fuck. That was a little more than I thought.
So he's gonna step over the corpse of his fallen friend here.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he is gonna make an attack against you. Okay, and he's gonna pull out his lightsaber and swing at you. So I'm gonna make 2 attacks. Your AC is 15, right?
Yes.
Okay. The first one does 11 energy damage. The second one does 12.
4 shield plus 4 AC.
Okay, so the first one will still hit then, and the second one will miss.
Ayy.
So that means 11 damage.
Yeah, so like, I was obviously expecting him to attack me after his thing, after striking him.
Two-handed.
But he came at me faster than I thought he would after being struck by lightning. So the first hit got through, and then when he went for that second attack, I just slightly moved his saber out of the way so it wouldn't connect the second attack.
it just barely misses you. Like a couple of your little hairs on the top of your head just get singed.
And you said it was 11 damage, right?
11, yeah.
Okay.
And he growls at you, and he was just like, "You were not worthy to be trained under the Elder."
Oh, dude, I'm more trained than you are. My pinky toe has more training than you do.
Dozak, you're up.
Alright. Back to the Force Blade. I'm gonna pop the lightsabers to my hand and ignite them. Like Anthony said, like as soon as he says begin, just whoop, pop them in my hands. I'm going to see that he's chasing Fulgore and take advantage of that. And when I take the attack action, I am going to cast Saber Assault.
Get him.
So let's see. Okay. Okay. First weapon attack coming at him. With advantage because we're flanking. Does a 25 hit? Russell, you there?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, there he is.
I I thought I was muted and then I muted myself. Whoops.
It's all good.
Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so that's the first. Do you want me to roll all the attacks and then do the saving throws,
Uh,
or do you want to do one on each one?
let's do one on each one.
Okay, so he needs to make a dexterity saving throw. DC is 16.
I failed.
Okay, that's one hit. We roll for the. Well, I'm going to. I'll wait on that. Okay. Second attack, or I should say my offhand attack. And the actual second attack.
Those both.
7, 16, 24. Yeah, 24 points of damage so far. Second hit, he needs to make another dexterity saving throw, DC 16.
I failed that one.
He's going to take an additional die 6 kinetic damage and can't take reactions.
He's down.
Okay. That's all that matters.
Well, off the third strike. You're welcome to. How do you want to do?
So, as the master says, begin, and the lightsabers fly to Dozak's hands, and he turns them on. Fulgor just lets out that lightning bolt, and he's the Sith warrior charges him, and Dozak comes up the rear, and just starts wailing on this guy. I mean, like, sabers flying in all directions. Dozak's grinning, and there's huge, like, his teeth are showing. They're all sharp. And then I'm going to use my fate point. Because they refreshed last session, right?
Technically no, because Kyle never used his.
Well, they refreshed when I used it, and then I haven't used it since then, right?
I think you were the first one to use it.
They were waiting on me to use it so that everyone refreshes. Everyone's refreshed.
And then you used yours to have the. I know that was Anthony that did that. I thought you used yours during the rooftop fight.
Yeah, you used your fate point to get an extra attack as you went down.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yep,
well,
as
never mind.
you were
then.
going down. Yep.
I had a really good idea there. Oh, well.
Yeah, I was like, I feel
Some
like
of-
he used it, but I can't remember. What did he use it on?
Yeah, I didn't
Dang.
remember it. Yeah, because I remember before the session, I was like, the only one that had a fate point was Kyle. Yep.
Damn.
Sorry
I
about
was going to
that.
do something spicy. Oh, well.
So you.
Is this truly your only champion? Your generals put up a better fight than him.
If the rest of your force is this weak, no wonder you want us to join you.
We'll make quick work of We'll make quick work of the ladder.
Umber, he barely even had time to get into a fighting stance before the fight was already over.
He's like, I'm outmatched by these guys.
Oh, shit. And he's just like, excellent. I see that your training is further along than I had anticipated. Well done. Well done to both of you. For that, you should be rewarded. But for now, I have other matters to attend to, so I will meet again with you soon. But for now, you must return to your chambers. And he gestures to to some of the acolytes, and they step forward. He says, "You have earned the right to. I will no longer require you to wear the binders. Sorry, good think of the word. But Umber, he's gonna slap them back on Umber. He's just like, I didn't even get a chance. What? Like, come on, man. Like, I can't help that they're better than me. He was just like, do not make excuses. Next time, perhaps you will perform more admirably. And your lack of initiative must be punished. And he's like, wait, no, seriously, that's not fair. And he starts getting dragged off. He's just like, you motherfucker.
I think it's funny how it was literally his lack of initiative.
Literally.
Like he was literally on the bottom of the initiative.
And these two guys step forward and they're like, "Okay, time to go."
Do I get my force focus
Very well.
back or no? I'm like actually looking at him.
He says, "I need a bit more time to inspect it, but when next you see me, I will return it to you. You have my word."
Well, if you have any questions about it, you can always, call me back, and I could probably show you a thing or two.
I like your spirit, Fulgor. You've got a fire that burns within you, waiting to be set free upon the world. We will meet again soon.
I give him just like a slight bow, not like full body, just like I look down a little bit,
Just like a nod.
Shake your head, yeah.
and then I'll go off.
So they're going to take you back to the cell. Going the same way through this hallway, in the middle, and around to here. Whoops. Sorry. But when you return, to the cell, this time a coma is up against the wall, also unconscious.
Has he got binders on him?
Yes.
Did they take our lightsabers away from us, or did they let us keep them?
Nope. They let you keep him.
Undo his binders.
You, with a quick flick of the wrist, his binders are now freed.
Switch back to the role play. Then I am going to cast a level 1 heal on myself. And then I will try to wake up. I'll check a coma, see how he's doing health-wise, because last I saw him, he was thrown.
Pretty rough. He was Dragon Ball Z'd into the side of a water tower.
You got Yamcha.
Damn. I'm saying damn at the Yamcha, but I also did almost full heal myself.
Nice.
And go ahead and make a medicine check for see if coma's okay.
21.
Yeah, he is breathing, has a pulse, does appear to be unconscious. However, the port thing that they installed on his shoulder, it looks infected. It looks like something's like his body is like rejecting the implant, and it looks very like the skin around it just looks gangrenous and like just pretty icky.
I can't do anything about that. I can't cure disease. In fact, breath controls for poison can only be cast on self. I will cast a level 2 cure wounds on him though. So 2d8 plus 4. Damn.
Oof.
Well, 8 health is better than two better than 6.
When you heal him, he begins to kind of stir a little bit, and he slowly comes to. Oh, my head. Fulgor? Dozak? Is that you?
Yeah. Umbra's here too, but he's been taken away.
Where is here? Where are we?
Some kind of Sith
We don't know.
prison.
Oh, that's not good.
Indeed, it isn't.
To be frank, I'm surprised we're alive. I thought for sure they would just kill us.
Yeah, they
The
want
next
us
three
to
of
join
us.
them. They're lacking on strong members.
Interesting. I wonder what makes them think that any of us would turn to the dark side. We're all Jedi here, right?
Well, it's at the very least to play along or die. And I don't know about you, but I enjoy having a good pulse.
Ulgor speaks the truth.
I do value my life, but I'm not attached to it. If I must die so that the Force may live, then so be it.
But think about it. If you die now, you can't help anybody in the future.
I mean, you speak truth, but how many atrocities must we commit in their name to free ourselves?
But by being alive, you can help to mitigate as best you can. Whereas somebody else in your shoes would likely make it far worse than you would. A quick death is better than a slow and torturous death.
Do you truly believe that they will ever let us go free?
Absolutely not, but that's why we need to get stronger.
There is one teaching of the dark side that has held pretty true, in that usually whoever is stronger ends up on top. And right now, we're not the strong ones. But we could be.
The Sith are greatly reliant on their individual strength. But perhaps together, the whole is greater than the singular.
We worked together and we got our shit rocked. We're gonna have to get stronger if we're gonna try again later. And the only way we'll be able to do that is if you survive.
My friends and I joined the battle late. Perhaps if we had engaged together, things may have gone better for us.
It's possible, but the past is the past.
I'm trying to remain optimistic here, but you'll forgive me if it does seem a bit hopeless from this perspective.
As one of the acolytes said earlier, if you have lost hope, well, then you've already converted to the dark side. So something tells me, Akoma, that's not the case.
Sounds like Umber. He still clings to the Jedi teachings. He thinks that there was... If history had gone differently, then the Jedi would still be the ones who ruled the galaxy.
The Jedi no longer exist because they were the ones who ruled the galaxy. They became complacent. You and I both know that complacency is what really caused the death of our comrades, not some petty empire.
That's what I tried to tell him. Their dogma and their painful lack of self-awareness was what was ultimately their undoing.
Hmm?
They let a Sith operate right under their nose. How could they be so blind?
Agreed.
He says is like the literal genetic Sith.
I know.
uh, have you formulated a plan? We just sit tight and get stronger, learn their ways.
I say
all we can do.
We've only been awake for like, I don't know, 30 minutes. If that. So we haven't had any time to really formulate a plan.
Well, no time like the present. It seems that they've left us to our own devices for the moment.
Well, it's probably best you rest and heal up. They gave the three of us a test of power to see if we were worthy to, continue on or die right then. So I tried to heal you as best as I could, but you're still not at full power. And they may come to test you as well.
He kind of is like clutching his shoulder. He's just like, I don't know what they've done to me, but it does not seem to agree with me.
It is a poison that the Sith Lord only has the antidote to. He didn't say what the poison was, though, or what the cure is. Just that this thing gives us the antidote periodically because the poison has been combined with our genetics.
My species are usually resistant to most poison, so perhaps they've done something extra to me as a hope to keep me under control. And he kind of like winces as he like tries to reposition.
We'll keep an eye on it. If it gets much worse, we may have a trick or two up our sleeves. But for now, I think all we can hope for is to get you as close to full strength as possible.
I know breathing control, and I can try to teach it to you. I just don't know if we have enough time or if it'll even work. I haven't tried using it myself because I just haven't had that much time since I woke up. And I guess now's as good a time as any. I'll try casting breath control again and see if I can... Well, I don't even feel the effects right now, do I? Like, I don't know... So, like, I wouldn't know if it worked or not, right?
Yeah, it's a subtle poison, so you're not entirely sure.
It does
How
say that
it affects you.
It does say that it removes... If I'm poisoned, it will remove a poisoned effect.
Yes, it is a poison. I said it was a poison. So.
Yeah.
Fulgor's poison.
The poison Fulgur.
So, but yeah, fuck it. I'll go ahead and try to cast it again and see if I can cure myself. Maybe I'll notice. I'll post it again just in case.
So you kind of get into a meditative pose. It does take 10 minutes to cast.
Duration is 10 minutes. It's one action to cast.
Oh, duration. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, you get into a meditative pose and you take like a deep breath. When you exhale, Dozak, in front of Fulgur, you can see a very faint cloud exhale from his mouth.
Oh, that's cool.
I wonder if our new coworker with the mask, I wonder if that's what was going on behind his face. Gotta have
Like
something relating to that poison. Maybe the longer you're exposed to it, the more powerful you become, or the more of it that's in you, the more powerful you become. I'm not sure why else he would look so deformed. I hope that's not the only. Well, clearly it's not the only way to become more powerful. I hope that's not the only way.
He probably looks deformed because he relies too heavily on the dark side of the Force. It does corrupt you. Physically. I mean, did you see the Master? He was, like, gray. He was missing hair. It was in, like, small patches. Like, he was a zombie.
That was something else entirely. Something...
That man needs to see some sun.
No. Something tells me that man has seen more suns than either of us ever will. There's something off about him, and it's not just how powerful he seemed and how rather small, but he's... I don't want to make assumptions, but I think he's been around a very long time.
It's possible. With the dark side of the Force, you can prolong your life.
Mm-hmm. I suspect that is at play.
So some time passes, and about another hour or two, roughly another short rest.
Does Akoma get to throw some hit dice for a short resting?
Yeah. He can throw a hit die. Let me just pull up his thing real quick.
Since we're taking a short rest, I get 3 more force points back up to 9. Hooray.
How many times can you use those ideals?
That is, anytime we take a longer short rest, I get 3 force points.
Oh, okay.
Whenever you finish a short or long rest, you gain a number of temporary force points equal to half your wisdom or charisma. So 2.5, so 3. So they're temporary force points, but they happen every time. So.
Okay. It's at least a first level spell. Or second level spell.
A second level spell,
Yeah.
yeah. Ooh. Coma only got like 6 HP.
Well, I have a +3 con, so that's good. So 5, 11, 18.
Nice. That one was a good roll.
There we go. That'll do it. So yeah, you guys spend some time. Akoma is trying to master the breathing technique. He watched you do it, and he's trying to do it
I
too.
can try
But he
to
hasn't
guide him
quite,
through it.
Mm-hmm. You reach deep within yourself and try to draw the poison out of you. He keeps trying to do it, but his little respirator thing that he's got to wear kind of makes it tricky for him to breathe deeply. And he's just like, I fear that this may be beyond me. I may be doomed to this poison forever.
We can keep working at it as long as they don't kill us.
And one of the acolytes comes around. He's just like, Red guy, boss wants to see you. Just you, though.
Alright, I'll be back. Dozak, just keep an eye on Akoma, make sure he doesn't get any worse.
Volgor, before you leave,
What's up?
there's I'm gonna get close to him and whisper and just say, "Still have your Boda Lotus petal? Gets worse."
I do, but I would like to save that for, like, dire situation. If he gets worse, then yeah, I can give it to him. But as of right now, I'd prefer to hold on to it.
I understand.
And then I'll... Does he open the gate, or can I just open the gate? Did they just not even lock it?
No, he opened the gate.
Alright, I'll step out.
They got the old jangly keys, the like classic. So he leads you again down through this area all the way here. We'll just go ahead and back to the other side here. Okay. And when he leads you into the room this time, he steps back, he leaves, and so now you are alone in the room with the elder, who's still sitting in his same spot. And sitting on the floor in front of him is your lantern and your ring.
Okay. I'll just force pull them back to me.
He looks at you and he says, "Have you ever heard the tale of
Darth Plagueis the Wise? Sorry, I had to do it.
Oh yeah, got to. He says, "Have you ever heard the tale of King Adas?"
I don't believe so. That doesn't sound familiar.
He was a powerful Sith warrior from thousands and tens of thousands of years ago. And although he did not wield a lightsaber, he guided his followers with a lantern and a ring.
That sounds cool.
I find it most curious that you use those same artifacts when they are so uncommon amongst our kind.
Yeah, I'm sure he noticed I didn't even, use my lightsaber at all during that fight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it calls to me better than a saber does. A saber is great, but, like I said, I really just use it defensively. I prefer to channel the Force than use the lightsaber.
Tell me, Fulgor, What were the circumstances of your birth? Do you know your parents? Where you were raised?
Actually, I'm unsure myself. I only have about 5 years of memory. I woke up in a facility. Actually, hold on. I have this in my bio. Maybe I can use some of this.
We're getting into the nitty
Character bio
gritty.
info actually being relevant.
Yeah.
Story
What is
progression
this?
unlocked.
I awoke in a Sith cloning facility, and the only things that were there when I awoke was that ring and my lightsaber.
And he's like kind of like playing with like the little shitty beard that he's like the little like last little wisps of white hair that are coming out of his face. He's just like, how interesting. And he mutters under his breath. He's like, and he shall be born pure with no memory.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, that's epic.
Fulgor, I wish to train you, but I don't think that your connection with the others will serve you. I think they hold you back. If you wish to recognize your full potential, a day will come where you need to leave them behind.
Well, I don't think that day is today, but I will gladly accept any training you have for me. I've been getting stronger on my own and with my friends, but I feel like I might be reaching an impasse soon.
Yes, the day may not be today, but it will come. You must be ready for it. This lantern of yours seems to be missing some components. It looks as if it has room for improvement. I have here a collection of small pieces that I've collected over my years that I will allow you to construct your to finish the construction of your lantern with. However, these did not come to me easily, and I will require compensation to fund our little venture we have here. Now, when my men took you, they did not find any credits on you like they did your companion. I suspect that you have hidden them somewhere.
Of course.
If you will make a generous donation to our discipline, I will allow you free reign of my collection.
How big of a generous donation are you looking for?
How much you got?
I've got quite a bit, but I do have other things I need to purchase as well.
Well, as much as you can spare. At least a good, I guess I'm going to have to look at your inventory. Using my powers of deduction. God damn, that's a lot of credits.
Yeah, I have 100,000. Most of it was going to go towards the force focus mods, and buying spells, and then I wanted to get some like grenades.
100,000 credits would help fund our community here for at least another year without needing any more.
God damn.
You can haggle with him. You can try.
Yeah. I can give you 80,000. I have other items that I need to purchase and restock on, grenades, med packs, other stuff that are useful for keeping myself alive. affect mind.
You use the technology created by mere mortals as a crutch. Someday you will no longer require it, but I suppose this is acceptable. 80,000 is. I can do that. I can do that.
I'll give him 80. I'll like reach in like this to get the secret bit and pull out my credits and just toss it to him.
He uses the force to at midair before it even hits the ground. He grabs it with the force. He says, "Most resourceful. I see that you managed to elude detection of even my my most clever generals. You said earlier that we were in need of more strength, and while some of my generals are very powerful, as you can tell, it is rare that one will rise above the ranks of the fodder. I had great hopes for the one you slayed earlier, but he paled in comparison to the likes of you."
That man was just an ant beneath my boot.
Indeed he was, and we are better off without him.
I agree. You don't want somebody that weak working for you.
And he snaps his fingers, and one of the acolytes pops out of the stairwell, and he says, "My aide here will take you to where to a place where you can forge your lantern. Remember what we spoke about here today."
Yeah. Are you giving my other stuff back? Because, my artificer's tools were in that group in my smuggler's bag. Which you kind of, you have to have those in order to actually work on your force focus and lightsaber.
Right. Tell you what. There will be artificer's tools waiting for you in the room.
Does he happen to have a higher rarity? Because I was wanting to buy, at least like a premium artificer's implements.
Okay. You'll see when you get there.
Okay.
But everything else is gone.
Okay.
Everything else you bought is gone.
Dang, I gotta get a whole new wrist pad.
A whole new world.
I know.
All down the drain, unfortunately.
At least all that stuff's fairly cheap. Minus the grenades.
I'll go ahead and tell you now. He'll give you. He's going to give you prototype artificer's tools.
Oh, fuck yeah!
Dang. Damn, son, where'd you find that?
So, once you're ready, let me know. We're gonna go on a little side quest here.
I'm ready. I'm just writing proto right in front of artificer's implements. Oh, does he happen to have any holocrons, or am I gonna? Is he take?
Oh,
is it just like a
shit,
workshop?
that's right. Yeah. Oh, I forgot I was gonna give you a holocron. Well, that's okay. We'll do that later. Okay. So they walk you down the stairs again, or up the stairs again. Sorry, getting a little turned around. But so we're in this middle hallway, and this door on the top left here, the Sith is going to he unlocks it and walks through it.
Did he assign me a rank, or am I just a grunt right now?
He did not assign you any kind of rank.
Okay.
So the Sith walks forward and gestures down this northern hallway and says, "Take as much time as you need, and when you're done, I'll walk you back to your cell."
Okay. What's down this way over here? And I point to this side.
This way?
Yeah.
It says, this compound connects to the sewers, so over that way is just the sewer system.
Ah, okay.
And so when you step into this little room here, there is a workbench with those prototype artificer's tools that I spoke of before, as well as several chests containing the mods that you wanted for your lantern.
Fuck yeah.
And yes, that's what you get. Okay. All right. So while you're working on that, we're gonna jump over to.
Oh, I was gonna ask if we could take a brief intermission. So
Yeah. We can do a quick 5-minute break.
Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
Put us on our break time screen, please.
Yes.
We'll be right back, guys. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Just had to take a quick little 5 minute break here. Our Fulgore did just spend credits, so he's leveling up right now. But in the meantime, while you're working on your lantern, Dozak, another acolyte, appears in front of your cell and says, "You there with the head tails? Come on."
Be well, Akoma.
I'll
May the
be
force
right
be with
here.
you.
And with you. So the acolyte leads you down once again through the hallway and staircases and into the chamber with the master. And same as with Fulgore, once they've led you here, they step back down the stairs, and you are alone with the master, with the elder. And he says, "Dozak, was it?"
That is what I am called.
So, how did you come to be in the company of our mutual friend Fulgore?
You may call it trivial, maybe you call it foolish. However, if nothing else, I do truly believe that the current of the force drew us together.
Force drew you together. Works in mysterious ways, does it not? These sound like the teachings of the Jedi. I thought earlier you said you had abandoned their ways.
Abandoned them. Yes and no. There can be there are lessons to be learned from all masters. And the Jedi and the Sith as well worship the Force as a religion. I think they are idiots for worshiping a hammer.
You speak in platitudes about how there are many sources of knowledge, but you cannot serve more than one master. If you try to ride multiple banthas, well, let's just say that's not going to work out very well for your legs. Now, what is it, Dozak? What is it that you seek? What do you aspire to do with this power you've been given?
The only thing I seek to do with all power, I seek to be invincible.
Invincible, eh? Spoken like a true Sith. And how do you intend to go about becoming invincible?
Surely there are those who can best me in the Force. Fulgore is surely an example. His Force capabilities outshine my own. However, were it to come to a battle of lightsabers, Fulgore would be left in the dust. Perhaps my path to invincibility means I should be the sword, and maybe Fulgore is the shield, and maybe it's us working together who make the strength that I seek. Or, were it down to me, well, I'm not 100% sure on my own capabilities, but something tells me that enough time and enough study from gracious masters, I should have an understanding of the Force that exceeds, if not all others, most.
Your reliance on your lightsabers and your friends. You call the Jedi fools for worshipping a hammer, yet here you are relying on your hammers that you wield and your friends that you keep close to you. Do you not trust your own abilities in the Force? That you must rely on these externalities?
On the contrary, I usually trust my abilities far above their own. The fact is not that they are just tools in the tool belt, but the fact that they are on the tool belt. Some people use a hammer. Fulgore might be a hydro spanner. Mayhaps our own Mandalorian could count as a wrench. I have been critiqued for this, but I truly believe there is always another way in which you can pursue your goals.
Resourcefulness and never accepting reality at face value. I was curious. He pulls out the Jedi Master robes that you were wearing when they took you, and he says, "My generals found you wearing the robes of a Jedi Master. Know this, Dozak. You are no master. You are still a learner. But if you can put your ego aside, perhaps one day you may become one."
That is the goal. And surely my own ego will be my own doing, but what kind of Sith would I be if my ego was not one of my weapons?
Yes, but you must control your weapon, not let it control you. I have a gift, Dozak.
Can't hear you.
Russell? We can't hear you.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear us.
Yeah.
Because he's still talking.
Yep, he's still talking. We're
Message him
gonna
on Discord.
put something, yeah.
Because I can't do it from my computer.
Oh, I got you.
Hello?
Oh,
There we
now.
go. I didn't catch any of that. All I heard, you were starting to say, "I have a gift for you, Dozak," and then after that, it cut out.
Okay. I have a gift for you, Dozak, but it comes at a cost. If you
Doesn't it all
are
count?
truly willing to accept any avenue and seek power through any means that you find useful, you will accept this gift, put it to good use.
I'm listening, but what is the gift? That is part of the decision.
The gift is power from a great Jedi, or from a great Sith from long ago. A piece of their power still remains today, and it can be yours if you will accept it.
I am ready to accept my fate.
He pulls out the gas mask looking thing that they used on you back on the rooftop, and he's just like, "Breathe in, and when you rise again, you will be more powerful than you could have ever imagined."
Very well.
So
I will trust you, Master.
So you breathe in the gas mask, and very quickly you lose consciousness again, and some stuff is gonna happen to you. Okay, we're gonna jump forward in time just a little bit. So, Fulgor, you have had the time to finish working on your lantern. It is finally reached its full power with. It's finally reached its full power with the modifications that you've been able to add to it,
Nice.
or maybe not full power, but it's reached a new level of power.
Yeah. all
So
my
you
ones
are
okay now.
you feel that you have done all you can do to modify it now.
Cool. Oh, are we back in the room?
Yeah, we're back to where you are.
Okay. Move over. Oh. Is there anything else inside this room besides those modifications? And the tools?
Well, yeah, while you were digging around, yeah, there was mods for your force focus, and there's also kind of some various lightsaber parts.
care. I'm gonna take the lightsaber parts. Maybe Dozak can use them.
Sounds good. Yeah. So you clean. I mean, wanting to get your money's worth, you basically clean out everything you can carry.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we'll discuss that at a later time. What you exactly.
What mods I took?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you got some good stuff there, and a couple of chassis too.
Nice.
So so when you step out, the guard is still waiting there for you outside.
All right, I'm ready to go. I've completed my project.
Very well. Back to the cell it is then. Oh, do you need to use the bathroom before you go back?
I used it in here while I was here.
Oh.
Y'all didn't exactly leave me any options, so, you know.
Wow.
Kind of took the stuff out of the chest and then took a piss and shit in the chest, so you might want to just throw that chest away.
I'm gonna have to be the one to clean that up. Damn it.
Damn.
Maybe y'all should. Maybe you should ask sooner, or just provide bathrooms. You know.
Been here 4 weeks and you're already getting better treatment. I didn't even get to use the bathroom for 2 weeks, and he already said you could use it.
Well, just don't be so weak.
You suck.
Problem solved. If you were stronger, you'd be in the same boat as I am. Of course,
so
I can give you some training if you want some additional training.
He's like he thinks about it for a minute. He's just like
Treason.
He's like, you know, the master barely pays any of us attention. He's only got eyes for the best of us. You know, I actually wouldn't mind learning a thing or two.
Some off-hours training, yeah, that's fine with me.
That lightning thing you did was cool as fuck, man. I've been waiting for him to teach me that since I got here.
I am
Don't
very.
give the goons lightning. That's how you get goons with lightning.
I'm
Anthony.
going to just use the shot cantrip and cast it against the wall as just like, you know, the mini, because it's at will. Like
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
teach you
I was
this.
gonna say shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he you kind of like explain to him the process and like the the anger and the rage that you embrace whenever you set forth the lightning, and he manages to make a little bit of lightning crackle around his fingers, and yeah, he also casts shock, and he's just like, yo, I can't wait to show the others. They're gonna be so jealous.
Now I'm just saying, if you happen to be the one who brings the food to our cell, you know, you could hook me up with some extra meat in that food, or you know, an extra bread or something.
He's like, yeah, the rations here kind of suck, but hopefully now that you guys are here, maybe we can get some better stuff. Master keeps saying there's these big plans and there's some kind of prophecy that's supposed to be coming true sometime soon. So
Oh shit! Is that the thing he said about me earlier? When he was like, and he will awaken with no memory.
He was like, he stops for a minute. And he was
like,
like,
I'm not actually saying that out loud. I'm out of character.
Oh, out of character.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's probably something I don't want the goons to know, because then they might be like,
yeah,
right. You know, this guy's definitely gonna show us up. Maybe we need to try to take him out in his sleep or something. Right now, I'm trying to get on his good graces, so he's like,
shake him in his sleep.
If one of these other goons decided to give me trouble, even though I can absolutely take them down, but he might, you know, just like, I'll take him out for him. You know, he's been cool. He's been showing me stuff. What is your name, initiate?
They call me Venzer.
What race is he? Is this one a human?
Yeah, this guy's human.
Okay. They call you what?
Venzer.
Oh wait, that's a magic card. Should I not
I was
use
gonna
that
say.
Just was like, what's a cool name? And it just fucking magic. They take all the good names. Fuck it. He'll be Venzer. Why not?
Can you spell that for me?
Venser.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Venzer. I'm Fulgor. I have plenty other cool tricks up my sleeve that I could absolutely teach you, and anybody else willing to learn, honestly.
I'm ready for some changes around here, man. When they recruited me, they said things were going to be awesome. They were going to make me this all-powerful Sith, and all I've done is fucking walk prisoners around and stand guard. Shit sucks. But, I don't know. I can't go back to my old life now. I've made my bed.
That's understandable. But yeah, you have any other friends here who are interested in learning, they're welcome to come talk to us in the cell. I'm skilled with the Force side of the Force, and my friend Dozak is very proficient with the lightsabers. I'm sure he could teach y'all a thing or two.
The Elder thinks the lightsabers are a weakness, but as we all clearly can see, all his generals use fancy schmancy lightsabers, so there's definitely a bit of a double standard there, isn't it?
Yeah, you definitely, you have to show up your weaknesses somehow, so you need to be good at both. Otherwise, if
See,
somebody comes up against you with, melee, obviously you're gonna get your shit rocked.
see, that's what I'm saying. Is like, shouldn't you try to like diversify your power and have mastery over all things, not just one thing really good?
Well,
I don't
you
know,
should
maybe.
focus on one thing to be really good at, and then you need to work on something to shore up your own weaknesses, such as being able to use a lightsaber.
Hmm.
You always
It's a
want
good
to take
point,
care of your
Fulgor.
weaknesses.
You're more wise than I gave you credit for. Here I thought you were just another part of the fodder.
Well, there's a reason why we absolutely destroyed that guy.
Yeah, clearly that was not even a contest. I thought that was like a rising star, but man, he just folded like a chump.
Yeah, I've had fights with shits that was harder than that.
Oh, I've got good news for you, by the way. You actually got upgraded. You don't have to stay in the shitty cell anymore. And he actually walks past the cell to these two doors at the top, and he's just like, you and your buddy, for passing the trial, you guys get to stay in a. Yeah, it's not exactly the Ritz Carlton, but it's better. It beats the bloodstained floor of the prison cell.
Pete's sleeping in that hallway with all the other chumps,
Yep.
and he's like, "Wait, I'm one of those chumps."
Yep. And he's just like, anyways, this one's all yours, and I don't know where your buddy is, but he should be back pretty soon.
Do you know if he'll be sleeping in this room with me as well?
Yes.
What kind of permissions has the master given us here? Are we allowed to wander on our own, or are we still confined to this room?
Um, unless we're summoned, we're not supposed to leave this floor. Um, if you're assigned like guard duty or something, then you can go to your post. But yeah, you can go anywhere. You can like over where these bunks are down the hallway. You can freely move between these rooms, but you have to stay upstairs.
Well, where's the bathroom so I don't have to go to that workshop and shit in the chest again?
Oh
um,
my god.
we usually just
Go to
do
that
our
sewers
business.
room you pointed to
What?
when you pointed the room and said it was just sewers.
He says, well, the latrine is actually off limits for the acolytes. We usually just do our business in the jail cell.
Damn.
But do you know where the bathroom is?
In the jail cell.
Oh.
The latrine is for the higher ranking members only. That's why I was saying I was jealous.
And what are these
Or-
floors made of again?
Metal.
Metal? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, could we just get Dozak to, like, shape Earth or break or something and just create a hole?
No, we do it to abuse the prisoners, but then we usually have to clean it up later. So it really seems like it's just abusing us. I don't know who's running this thing, but they're pretty twisted, aren't they? Okay, that was out of character. You didn't say that.
Yeah, I think when I'm in charge, I'll create better living conditions. You can still create powerful workers without having a shitty work environment. Literally.
But shh.
Yeah.
Unionize. He's like,
16
"What?"
tons starts playing in the back.
Yep. He's like, well, anyways, I'm gonna go back to my bunk and try to get some rest. It's been quite an interesting day. Your buddy should hopefully be back pretty soon.
Alright. Well, like I said, if you and the other acolytes want some lessons, I'm willing to teach. Just feel free to come knock on the door, I'll answer. I'm trying to get in good with these guys.
Yeah, I got you. He's like, sounds good, man. Well, have a good night. So you
Yeah, obviously I don't need to go to the room just yet. You hanging in there, Akoma?
he shuffs and he's just like, huh? Oh, yes, I'm still alive at the moment. For now.
Alright, well, you'll probably have your test of power soon. Do you want an actual bed?
I wouldn't say no to one.
I'll just use my lightsaber and I'll just open the door.
The keys are actually they're hanging on the wall right here. Or sorry, not around the corner. Sorry, where they
Oh,
can't,
okay. Yeah.
where you can't force grab them
I'll
from.
just grab the keys, open the door, and I'll be like, "Come on, you're coming with us."
He's like, "Are you sure?"
I mean, what are these acolytes gonna do? Fight me?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Fair enough. And he kind of stumbles along behind you.
I'll just lead him there. He can actually get some proper rest, because he's gonna need it to try to fight that infection.
Mhm.
Because I do want him to survive.
He says, "Thank you, Fulgor. I don't know if there's any way I can ever repay your kindness, but I will try to live long enough to do so."
That's how you can repay my kindness. Survive so that we can fight another day.
Maybe we will make it out of here after all. So, you guys, it's evening now, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock, getting kind of, actually probably closer to like 10 or 11. It's getting kind of late. Still no sign of Dozak.
I'm sure he's fine.
Another hour or two passes. It's almost midnight, and you finally hear footsteps coming down the hall.
I'll open the door and step out.
God, it's only 7 o'clock. I feel like it should be so much later. Sorry.
It's probably
What do they
because
do?
with less players, you can actually like get through a little bit more, a little faster.
We're done today.
Also, I'm not as good as Jama at roleplay, so I can't try to hold the conversation.
Good
No,
enough.
no,
Yeah.
you guys are both doing fine. Don't sweat it. Okay, I'm sorry. What did you say you were doing?
I'm gonna step out and close the door. And just
Akoma's asleep. He's out cold.
yeah. That's fine. Well, you said footsteps are coming, so I was just kind of like coming to see if Dozak was coming.
Oh, okay. So around you round the corner, or rounding the corner, excuse me, is Dozak, and he is unconscious, and he's being carried by two acolytes, different one than Fencer.
No, I'll like stop them here before they can actually see past the cell. And be like, I'll take him to the room.
And they look at each other, and they're just like, "Eh, let's work for us." So they kind of unshoulder him and give him to you.
And I'm not very strong, so I'm definitely
Yeah.
dragging
You're
his
gonna
ass
drag me
down.
Yeah, you're like literally his face is like skrrr
Oh
on the
yeah,
fucking-
no, I'm
The
absolutely carrying him
seams
by
in
the
floor,
feet.
and the face is just like.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely carrying him by the feet and allowing his face to drag. And I bring him in and put him down on a bed. And I will cast wakefulness on myself so that I don't have to sleep. Because I'm sure we're about to get a long rest here, I guess.
Mhm. Are you gonna wake him up? Or are you just gonna let him sleep?
I'm just gonna let him sleep. He probably needs it.
When you like put him on his bunk, he curls up and he's kind of like He's kind of like cradling his left hand as if he's like kind of holding like he seems sorry. I don't know how you see.
Yeah.
Like he's like cradling his left hand close to his chest.
I'll try to inspect his left hand without waking him.
Um,
Make sure it's like
when
not
you
injured is what I mean.
yeah yeah. You when you try to move it, he like like wrestles it away from you. Like he like turns over and puts his back to you.
Okay. Yeah. He's probably fine.
Yeah.
I didn't see any blood, so he's probably fine.
Okay. So you guys are able to long rest.
Yo.
Beautiful. Means I get 3 hit dice back. Hooray.
Oop.
Go back to full health.
Wait, I don't think I added my force points.
Full first one.
My 23. Oh wait, wrong one. 24.
So I can top off my bad guys too. Back to full health.
Yeah, I forgot to add my 4 force points as well. Sweet. I have 32 force points now instead of 28.
I see.
Yeah. I managed to hit 6 when I gave those 80,000 credits.
Big money. Oh, by the way, we were talking a little bit while you were gone. So Dozak, because your slipstream kickers are boots, you did manage to retain those.
Okay.
He was still wearing them after all. He never changed his attunement to the Mimicker. Well, even then, he would still be wearing them.
So just so you know, though, you have not gotten your master's robes or your mimicker back.
Okay.
Just FYI. All you have is your saber and your kickers.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the night passes, and it's not exactly the best night's sleep you've ever had, but you awaken, and Fulgor, you spend your time just kind of meditating, thinking. I don't know if you wanted to try to get up into any nighttime shenanigans, but
No, we'll just say I use this long rest to actually level up. So this is how I learned my new cantrips and stuff.
oh, okay.
Or my new spells.
Kind of
I absorbed all the knowledge that I've received.
mm-hmm.
And also contemplating like what to do here in this scenario. What we're gonna do to try to either grind our way up the ladder or try to escape.
Mm-hmm.
So when you guys awaken, Dozak, you feel your hand is like on fire. Like it feels like you just fucking stuck your hand wrist deep in lava.
Ow.
Your left hand.
So I'll sit upright and like hold my hand like, ow. Like it's obviously causing me a great amount of pain. What's going on?
Do you pull your glove off?
I guess I will.
When you remove your glove from your hand,
Holy shit.
instead of where your hand used to be, there is now that. The stream see it. The stream can't see it. I'll describe. Okay, I was just like, hold on.
I'll move it over.
This grim left hand looks as if it's been taken from a decomposing corpse, its long claws grasping the open air, awaiting command. The desiccated skin has merged with your arm in a jagged pattern, making it hard to tell where your flesh ends and its begins.
Is that like a magic item?
It is.
That's cool.
I mean, it's totally cursed, but
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
it's hella
So
cursed. But
So you're kind of a bit shocked
taking it back
to see,
for sure.
yeah, as anyone would be. And hang on a sec.
Why does it say attunement 1 to 2?
So, Dozak, you are basically forced to attune to this thing, at least with one level. However, this thing has a little bit of a special twist to it. You can, by using a second attunement slot, you can give in to the darkness, and there is additional abilities that you will gain. However, once you give in, there's no going back. So I'll give you a moment to read it. But the first chunk of text that you have already, that's already done, and it does require one attunement slot. The stuff below, given to the darkness, requires your second slot, and that is a decision that you will need to make. I'm not going to make you make it tonight. You can take some time to think about that, but it does come with some pretty sweet powers if you do.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Any melee spell or any melee weapon attack deals an extra 2 die 8. Bruh.
Jeez.
Kyle said they awaken and Luke is there with a lightsaber overdose.
Basically.
Oh, man.
Dude, that hand is so sick. Honestly, I would attune to that thing.
Yep.
Coerce mind on you all the time.
Yeah, so anytime, if you cast any of those spells that it can let you do, it's got charges and you can cast spells. If you cast any of those spells, it will force you to commit an evil deed. And that can either be up to you or it can decide for you.
But dang, master speed, haste onto 2 people. Let's freaking go! Like,
Worth noting, it has to be of a spell level you can cast. So Master Speed and Force Lightning Cone, you won't be able to use those until you can actually cast
that level.
What is that?
Dang.
Yeah, 7th level spells.
Rip.
Whatever that is. So you would just get the
Still.
first 2 for now.
It's not like you can lose the magic item, so.
right.
It's kind of attached to the wrist or like forearm.
But that coerce mind is a pretty strong. It doesn't say what the save is. It just says the DC. What is it? Wisdom? I guess would be the.
Yeah, I believe it's a wisdom saving throw. They should all be correctly linked. I think I tried to link them to Star Wars 5e. So if you click the purple, it should take you to the spell. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Coerce mind. Yeah, right there.
So Dozak, you take off your glove and see this, and Akoma is looking at you from across the little area that you're sitting, and he's like, "What in the name of the Force have they done to you?"
I'm not sure. I'm in a tremendous amount of pain right now, but I don't feel injured. It's strange. It's as if this thing that they've grafted onto me is as if it's causing the pain rather than being the source of it. Whatever
Did
it
you
is, it is dark.
did you ask for this? What did he tell you yesterday?
I admit, I gave in to one of my rather more pertinent flaws. I let my ego dictate my path. I told the master what he wanted to hear.
By the Force, Dozak, this is not good.
As I said, Akoma, yesterday, the only chance to survival we have is to at least pretend to play along.
Well, you've certainly played along, haven't you? Well, hopefully I can pass my trial and continue to survive.
How are you feeling? Does this thing still look infected? Does it look better? Does it look worse?
It actually looks better. It seems that the infection is subsiding. It's not entirely gone, but it's not like oozing pus anymore. It just looks kind of red and irritated.
Well, that's good at least.
Yes, it would seem this is at least a small bit of good news.
We should probably get you back to the cell. They probably won't like it if they notice that you're not in there.
That's a good point. Yes, we shouldn't try their patience. It seems that we've gotten away with much, but best not push our luck.
Yeah. And then I'll take him back to the cell.
So, notably, when you go back to the cell, oops.
There's new patches of feces and puddles of piss everywhere.
Yes, and also sitting in those feces and piss is our boy Umber.
It's your
Um,
boy.
his eyes are open, but he has like this just glaze over them, and his jaw is kind of slack. He's just like,
Yeah.
Well, I can't
and when
fix
you
that.
when you come in, he looks at you, but just dead eyes, man, like a fucking stripper working on a Tuesday morning.
What did they do to you?
He looks at you, and then he just looks down. And he doesn't say anything. Akoma like kind of goes over to him, and he's just like, Umber, are you okay? Speak to me. And he tries to like pick up one of his hands, and it just goes completely limp. He's just like, oh, his sorry, he doesn't have his binders on anymore. But he's just like, I I don't want to know what happens if I fail my tests because this does not look fun.
Like I told you yesterday, again, you're gonna have to play along if you want to survive. Otherwise, this is what awaits you.
Oh, my dear Umber, I didn't mean for any of this to happen to you. Hopefully, Kashto survived, and perhaps your friends will come for us soon. We can only hope that they're mounting a rescue.
If I know Karo, I don't doubt that he's planning a suicide mission to try to rescue us. And by us, I mean me and Dozak. He didn't really know you guys enough to want to save y'all, but...
And by you and Dozak, you really mean just
Oh, yeah,
you.
no, I absolutely just mean me. But I will try to make sure that we can bring you guys along as well.
Mandalorians are truly honorable and valuable companions to have. They will fight to the ends of the earth or to the ends of the galaxy to protect those that they care about.
Yeah.
It is wise to be in the company of one.
Well, that man is like a blood brother to me, so honestly, I would do the same for him. You may not have seen it, but you were unconscious, but I bargained to go willingly if they spared the our two Mandalorian friends, and they allowed it, which is still kind of odd for a Sith to even allow that, but I can't complain.
It was a prudent decision, and I suppose that any chance at life is better than utter defeat. I
Yeah.
once called Umber my blood brother, but I fear the Umber that I knew is all but gone. He looks at him and he's like, Umber, do you wish for us to release you from your torment? And he looks up at Akoma and he just very gently kind of nods. And Akoma looks over at you and he was just like, they have not returned to me my weapons, but can you please give him the gift of peace?
You don't think he can come back from this? After all, our group would be stronger the more we have.
He he looks at the pain in Umber's eyes, and he says, his spirit is broken. I don't think there's any coming back from that.
All right. Do you want
Coma
to
like
do it,
turn.
or do you want me to do it?
No, he turns his back. He's just like, please, just get it over with.
All right, Umber. Please close your eyes. And then after he closes his eyes, I'll and then just cut his head off. I try to make it as quick as possible.
R.I.P. Umber.
R.I.P.
I know he was one of the
Gone.
cool ones.
I know. No.
Him and Akoma were the
That's-
two that I really liked.
Yeah, me too. At least you got Koshto. He's still alive somewhere.
Somewhere.
No, nobody cares about Koshto. Fuck that guy.
Nobody watched the last episode. Let's go.
Dang.
It's done, Akoma.
He says thank you, and I'm sure Umber would thank you too. It's not pleasant, but it had to be done.
Well, hopefully he can rest easy now that he is one with the Force again.
Yes, yes, he will always be with us, as the Force is all around us.
Alright, I better get back to Dozak and check on him. They'll probably give you your weapons back during your test, but just in case they don't, toss him my lightsaber.
He looks at it and he's like, I think I'll be okay. And he tosses it back to you, and he's like, even if they don't give me my gauntlets, I've studied the way of the fist. I prefer to fight without weapons.
Well, if you insist,
Monk
I'll
things.
I'll just
Yeah,
put
just
it back
monk
in my
things.
robe.
Yep. Strike hard, strike fast.
No mercy.
Well, I wish you luck on your endeavor. Should you succeed, you'll be most likely staying in the room with us.
I certainly hope so. I don't particularly wish to stay here after what just happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
We shall see.
Alright, and then I'll go back to Dozak.
Okay, real quick. So Fulgor, while Fulgor was in there, hang on.
Okay.
So Dozak,
Mm-hmm.
whenever he leaves the room and you're alone, you swear you can hear like whispering in the room with you,
Okay.
but you can't seem to make out any discernible like words of any kind.
Oh, that's awesome.
But there's
His parcel tongue?
fucking yeah, it's in parcel tongue, and the pain from the hand has kind of subsided from full on lava to like now it just feels like you stuck your hand in acid, and it's not currently in the acid, but it's you still got third-degree
Stinging.
burns. Yeah. It's still just is a powerful stinging pain. And you look at this hand, and you just keep turning it over, looking at the front and back of it, like kind of like ceasing to believe it's like, or not, you're not able to like even really like
Comprehend it.
comprehend that this really happened to you, and you're just like trying to understand why or how like this helps you in any way.
True. I'm gonna put the glove back on it as if like a out of sight, out of mind kind of thing.
And when you put the glove back on, the whispering ceases.
Okay.
Sorry, Sammy's just posting in the chat. Okay, so Fulgor steps back in, and now it's just the two of you.
Are you feeling Dozak?
Still in quite a lot of pain. It's gonna take some getting used to for sure.
Yeah, I don't think.
As I'm like turning my hand over in front of him.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to cure that.
I don't think there is a cure for whatever this is.
Oh, there
Whatever
absolutely
this
is,
it's
but
not
it'll be
poison.
losing your hand.
Well, it would seem I would just have to lose it a second time, because this definitely isn't my hand.
That's fair.
It, I think it's trying to speak to me, and that's kind of worrying. But I did say I wanted power by any means. So.
You hear the whispers too? I've been hearing
Shadow
I
people
do.
are back.
I've been hearing that shit since I woke up 5 years ago. Umber's back, but not anymore. Whatever they did to him, Akoma said that he wouldn't be able to be himself ever again, and asked me to put him out of his misery.
And I'm assuming you obliged.
Yeah. I tried to talk him out of it, but he said it would be for the best. I'm guessing.
Rejoice for those whom you know who returned to the Force.
Yep.
Warn them, do not. Miss them, do not.
Hopefully Akoma can pass his trial so that he'll be with us. It's gonna take all of us to get through this, I'm sure.
It will, but something tells me Akoma's not going to be around much longer.
I don't know. He's not as strong as us, but he's definitely stronger than these goons.
Guess we'll just have to see what the master has in store for him.
Think he'll let us watch the trial? If we just showed up
He
and
might
we didn't
let
even
us.
ask.
Yeah, if we just surprised. We just showed up, he probably would let us.
Well, it's worth the shot. And I'll be keeping an ear out. What did the master offer you?
This hand. Not explicitly, but he told me that if I truly wished to pursue power by any means, that he would indeed give me power. Then he gave me one of those breather things, like before we headed on the way over here to, I guess, put me under. And I guess while I was under, they performed this transfer, whatever it is. Grafted this thing onto me. And then I woke up in here, so I don't even know anything about it.
So you don't even know what it can do, its capabilities?
I don't know what this hand, I don't even know where it came from. I don't even know whose hand it is.
Interesting. Well.
But it must have been somebody very strong at one.
Yeah. I got some upgrades as well, and I'll show 'em my fancy upgraded focus now.
Ooh. Oh, great. So now I really got to watch out for your lightning.
Believe me, you won't see it coming if it does.
Let's hope that day never comes.
Agreed. I don't want to be on the other end of your lightsabers.
A fair argument. I guess that's why the Force has kept us together.
Yeah,
We need somebody to wield the lightsaber and somebody to wield the Force. So I guess it makes sense that you're the stronger caster.
You and I are like two halves. I provide the strength through the Force, and you provide it through the blade.
Then let us cut down our enemies and conquer them.
And electrocute the opposition.
Leave them shocking and gasping for breath.
Speaking of, one of the new spells I got was shock. Choke.
Oh, you got the Force choke?
Yeah, I got it. I was like, hell yeah.
Dozak, you feel with your Tremor Sense, you can feel two acolytes coming up the hallway.
We have company.
I'll just open the door before they even get here. What's up?
They look at each other, and one of them says, "He will know our presence before we appear before him." They're like,
Yeah, you got footsteps loud enough I can hear him down the hall.
fair
You
enough.
two really need to work on your footwork.
I didn't even need my tremor sense. I could literally hear it click, 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 click.
The elder has summoned us. We are all to report to the to his chambers.
Is that what they call the master? They call him elder?
Yeah,
Okay. Just making sure they weren't two different people.
yeah, man, same thing. Yeah, elder master.
Alright. Is
Either
Akoma's trial going to be today? I ask as I walk with them.
That seems to be on the docket for sure.
Alright.
Usually he tests us within, a day of our arrival.
Okay.
So they all head out together, or except for these two that are gonna.
Stay back, watch the prisoner.
Keep guard.
Yeah.
They're gonna go. Okay, so we'll move everyone over.
Guard duty again? Man, but they actually had entertainment for today.
We were allowed 5 minutes of TV today.
One sec, just doing some adjusting here. So when you guys come in, most of the acolytes, they kind of line the walls and assume that same position. And when he comes in, he says, "Ah, well, if it isn't my two newest acolytes, please take your place by my side." And he gestures to the right and left of him. Fulgor and yeah, perfect. Okay. Fulgor on the right, or his right rather.
Hey, I'm his right-hand man. Let's go!
For now, well, you're still useful.
Oh, that wasn't out loud. That was just for our benefit.
Yeah, no.
As a joke, yeah.
Yeah. And so shortly thereafter, Akoma comes in with two acolytes, and they're actually going to stay by the door. And
I
He
think I know
steps
what's about
forward.
to happen.
and he says, "They tell me your name is Akoma. You study the Force, but pursue a different path. You use neither saber nor spell power. Sorry, I don't know what they call it in universe. But you prefer to wield the power of your fists." And he pulls out the gauntlets that he was like the electrified gauntlets that Akoma was wearing last time, and he says, "Do you truly need these to fight, or are they just a crutch that you rely on to augment your weaknesses?" And Akoma kind of straightens up and he says, "They help me hit harder, and they're great against droids, but I don't need them. They are a crutch." And the master says, "How interesting. So confident in yourself. Perhaps we'll make a Sith out of you yet. But first you must be tested in a trial of combat." And he leans back and he says, "Dozak, go ahead and step forward."
Could I, try to interject here real quick?
Sure.
Surely if you have plans for us to fight him, you realize that we are so far above him, it wouldn't even be close to being a fair challenge for him, right?
And was it a fair challenge what you did to my champion yesterday?
I mean, he could have had the chance, but we didn't give it to him.
And Akoma very well may have the chance to defeat Dozak, but we won't know until what's done is done.
I'm just saying, it's definitely going to be one-sided. Surely you could give him a more worthy opponent. While it is fun to watch somebody just get beat down, a fight is more enjoyable when it takes longer to conclude.
Is that mercy I detect? Do you still harbor feelings for this Keldorian?
Oh no, I would just like the pain to take longer.
So you're saying if you offer a glimmer of hope and then snatch it away, the suffering will be much greater.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
I'm trying to make it so, like, give him a better shot of actually surviving this, because if he has to fight Dozak, he's definitely going to die.
Yeah, for sure. Hmm. Very well. Who thinks that they may challenge Akoma in a battle of skill? All the acolytes are like, oh, me, man, that guy's big. He's fucking jacked, dude. Look.
Is Venzer here?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I guess you can't say his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Venzer would get rocked.
I
Oh
know,
my God.
I know, and I'm sorry because I was actually trying to make friends with this dude, but I'm gonna be like, that acolyte over there knows how to use the Force pretty well. I've seen him use it yesterday. I think he would provide a fair challenge for Akoma.
he like shoots you like a fucking death glance, and he's just like, you motherfucker, set me up. And he says, I accept this challenge, Master. I'm ready to prove myself. He steps forward and draws his saber. Well, does someone want to control Akoma?
He's more.
It's not gonna last much longer than a round.
I was just gonna say, like, I can do it all, or if one of y'all want to, like,
Go for it, Connor.
Yeah.
Monk's pretty close to a Sentinel.
Right. All right. Sure. Let's go for it.
let me give you access to a sheet real quick.
Weepa Carp said 100,000 credits on Akoma.
Akoma
gonna
versus
take that
Dozak, let's go. And he's betting on Akoma against Dozak. Oh, jeez.
All right, you should have access to his character sheet now.
Okay, let's see.
It'll be the one with his first and last name on it.
I had a feeling as soon as he said to stand, on both sides of him, I was like, oh fuck, he's gonna have us fight
Oh,
Akoma.
jeez.
Like, oh.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh god, I gotta try to like make him fight somebody else because he will lose to us.
So he doesn't have the gauntlet, so you can just ignore the shocking property. It's just basically I think it also gave him a +1.
Oh, jeez. Or Hadari stand.
Yes, so okay, no, it wasn't a +1. Yeah, it literally just all I gave him was shocking, basically. So yeah, basically he's got the two different stances that you can bonus action to. So. Okay, and then I'm gonna be this guy. So just,
Damn, this music is like on point for.
it's been popping.
Yeah.
All right. He's stronger than a minion, so don't hold back.
Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead.
I mean, if you want a coma to win, try to win.
I was trying to give the man a fair shot.
I cannot access the token though.
Oh, right. And okay, should be working now.
Go. Initiative.
If Finzer somehow wins, I'm gonna be like, see, I told you you had it. That's why I was putting you up.
It's only 8.
I'm playing both sides, so I always come out on top. Where did my...
Well, if you haven't noticed, I'm still trying to pretend to be light side for a coma.
Like I said, I'm playing both sides, so I always come out on top. Oh, I rolled a 7. No. Oh, shit. I was like, there's no way I don't beat an 8, right? Oh, that sucks.
Never say never.
Yeah. Okay, well, looks like Akoma goes first.
You got this, Akoma. I say in my mind. I've given you
I'm
the
one with the Force. The Force is with me. I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me. Let's see. So I get 2 attacks. Okay, and you said just to ignore the shocking property, or just use it?
Yeah, just take the shocking off.
Okay, so we'll do first attack.
19 hits.
Okay, and let's see, 1d6 plus 4.
Whispered
You can click the attack and it'll oh, it's still whispering it.
Yeah, I didn't see it, and I do have us on the combat overlay right now.
Okay. Let me reset it. Let me just go ahead and make his stuff public.
Okay.
So we'll never whisper. Okay. So that first strike did 5 kinetic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then we will do. Let's see.
I should probably open it too.
Let's just go ahead and do a second attack. Oof, that's gonna fail. That's a crit fail.
Maybe he has really shitty AC.
Nope, that's a miss.
Okay.
So Akoma charges forward and he like kind of sucker punches Venzer. Like Venzer kind of gets, he's just got like a regular lightsaber. He gets in his stance and Akoma runs in and just like no fear, like punches around the saber. But when he goes for like the follow-up strike, he goes to do like another punch from the other side. The saber is kind of in a precarious position, so he's not able to connect because Venzer's defensive stance is kind of preventing him from getting in that second attack.
Has he got some monk points? Extra attacks?
Oh, he does. And then.
Flurry here, nay.
Oh, I was actually going to ask about this.
You've got 7 points, by the way.
This Foradari stance for the bonus action.
Oh, okay.
You can use your bonus action to enter this state, and when you do, unleash a flurry of blows on creatures of your choice you can see within 10 feet of you. So they need to make
Dex save.
a dex save equal to. Let's see. It doesn't have a. Well, his bonus with the weapon was +7. So DC 15 dexterity saving throw. And, but it
Come
doesn't.
on, Venzer. This is rolling. It's like lagging. Did my shit glitch out? What happened? What the heck? I might have to reload roll 20.
I'm assuming
Okay.
it's a. Okay, go for it.
Okay, I rolled an 11, so I failed.
Okay. So then all it says is you can unleash a flurry of blows and there's no damage there. So I'm assuming I need to roll my monk flurry of blows.
Yeah, so it's like it's like flurry of blows, but it's like an
But
AOE,
it's an AOE.
instead. So it just
Okay.
it does the normal weapon damage, which
So
is just like
mine-
the regular 1d6 plus
1d6 plus 4.
Also, once on each of your turns when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike or monk weapon, you can choose to make it unable to take reactions until the end of your next turn.
Yeah. And that's
Also,
the
since you hit him with an unarmed strike, you can use a focus point for stunning strike.
which was what I was going to try to do.
Yep.
Okay, so
So
that's
it's 3 damage, 7 damage.
yeah, 7 damage from the flurry of blows, and then spend a focus point. And
That's a con save, right?
I believe so. It is the Gundark Slap.
Bop.
Yeah.
I passed that save. I rolled a natural 19.
Nice.
Okay.
So
Alrighty.
so Akoma, like after those like first 2 strikes or whatever, he just starts like like just fucking just throwing hands anywhere that'll connect. And so like Venzer tries to like kind of sidestep to like move out of the way, and he ends up getting caught in the shoulder by one of them. And thankfully it was just kind of a glancing blow, so he does take a little bit of damage, but he manages to shrug it off and not get stunned by it. Aha, I get to take a turn. How about that?
Well, I did say I wanted the fight to be more on equal footing, so it would take longer.
I think I'm gonna cast power.
So you gonna try to use shock that I just taught him?
Not a melee range. Oh, this is a ranged attack too, isn't it? What is maybe sap is what I was looking for. Yes, this is touch range. Okay. All right. So I'm going to make a melee spell attack against you.
What kind of weapon is Venzer using right now?
Just a standard lightsaber.
Okay. What's the color? Red, obviously, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot to do the thing. Probably can't see that. Oh,
Oh, I can see the light.
There it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am going to cast. Well, I don't have to tell you, do I? I'm going to make a melee force attack at you. So my charisma.
Technically, if one of us has the spell, we know what it is.
I don't think either of you have it.
Oh,
But I rolled a 22 to hit.
Oof.
My dank +4 modifier. So that is 3d10 necrotic damage.
If it's necrotic touch, I used to have that spell at the start, so I would recognize it.
Oh, it's not. Don't you resist necrotic though?
I do indeed.
Okay.
Wait,
so
a
instead
coma?
of 13. What's
Akoma
up?
resists necrotic?
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So instead of 13, you're gonna take 6. So Venzer, he takes one of his hands off his saber, and he like digs his like fingers into the like meat of Akoma's arm, and you can see like where his fingers are. You can see like this like black energy, like a fucking mosquito like sucking blood. Like you can see like the like energy like moving out of Akoma's arm and into Venzer's fingers up his body, and
Brutal.
I'm also gonna heal that 6 back.
I
Or no,
cannot
it's half. Sorry.
alter the HP bar, either through clicking or the settings for the token settings. So
Okay. How about now?
Akoma's at 36. There we go.
And that's my turn.
Righty. Second verse, same as the first. Akoma feels that his life force has been threatened, so he's like, all right, now I'm really going to throw hands at this guy then. Let's go main attack. Oof, that is going to miss for sure.
Yep, no good.
Second attack. There
I
we
don't-
go. So let's do, it's 1d6 plus 4. 8 damage from that one. And then I'm gonna spend a key point and do monk things and flurry of blows the heck out of that.
Alright.
Then I need to roll 2 more. I'll just keep going with that. That one's gonna hit.
That hits.
And that one's gonna hit. Then
If you
2
just
dice.
click where it says attack, it'll roll like
The damage.
yeah. Next to where it says 23. There you go.
Okay. Like this one. Okay. Got 8, 7.
I have literally 1 HP.
Yield, Venzer.
So yeah,
I command thee kneel.
so after Venzer like did that draining attack, Akoma like he goes into strike with the same arm that just got drained, but it kind of like falters because of it's like slightly weakened, and then with his other hand he just starts just going to town and just like unleashes this series of strikes on Venzer, like doing the Wing Chun, like fucking. He's just like he hits him like on the head and the side and the leg, like he's just hitting him all up and down. And yeah, so Venzer's now he's down on 1 knee and he's at literally 1 HP. Kind of hard to see with the red lightsaber aura, but he has like 1 HP left. And the elder says, he says, "Good, Akoma, finish him." And Venzer just looks up at Akoma and he's like, "You don't have to do this. You were one of the good guys. You could end this here."
Rejoice for those you know who returned to the Force. And just
He just snaps Venzer's neck. He like picks him up by the head and snaps his neck, and Venzer drops to the floor.
have I satisfied your challenge?
What a good show, my lad. What a good show indeed. Yes, you may join your 2 companions in their upgraded suite.
See, Master,
And
I told you a prolonged fight would be a more enjoyable one.
You very well may have saved your friend's life, but it would be a waste to cast him back to the Force, as he so eloquently puts it. Venzer was clearly not up to the task, and we're better off without him. I see still right here.
Rip Venzer. I'm actually sad he's dead.
Rip Venzer. He had he was one of those filler characters, one of those filler arc characters. Will I ever see you again? Nope.
Gone too soon. Just D&D things. I write this eloquent, long backstory for deep, fleshed out characters. Literally, Faceless Mook they met this session. That's great.
Man.
Love it. And he says, you may return to your chambers. You are dismissed for the day." And Akoma's just like, "Well, can I get my gauntlets back?" And he says, "I thought you said you didn't need them." And he's like, "I don't, but I still want them." He says, "Very well." And he tosses the gauntlets on the ground. Akoma goes and picks them up. He's like, "Sweet. They were a gift."
On our way out, I'll turn to the Master and give him the slight nod again and be on our way.
He does like a slow and deep nod in return. Okay. Oops. Yeah, sorry, just gonna. When you walk past, you see that Umber's body has been removed from the cell.
Oh, good. Would have been quite awkward if it just stayed there.
Sitting there rotting.
Just
No.
another pile of bones to go with the one that's already in the back corner.
Right.
Oh, hey there, Umber. Every time you pass by, it's just like, how's it going? Oh no.
Revivify's not gonna work on that one.
All right. And with that, that will be the end of tonight's session. I'm sorry it's a little earlier than usual. I know it's a bit of a shorter session, but I hope you all enjoyed it. And so next week we're getting the band back together. It should be all 5, 6 of us if you count me, and we will wrap up this exciting conclusion to this little arc and figure out what the heck is going to happen. Do they even want to be saved? Are they going to say no when their friends show up? I guess we'll find out next time. Until then, may the force be with you.
May the Schwartz
May the force be with you all.
I had to say it for Kyle because he's not here.
Yep.